Most people will never become wealthy in one generation if their primary source of income is earned income. These are not my words. This is a quote from one of the most successful American author, lecturer, and researcher of the 20th century, Thomas J. Stanley. He wrote several highly successful books, taught at prestigious universities, and remained a wealthy individual throughout his life. His books have raised generations of millionaires worldwide, and his ideas are still valued today. Stanley's idea of wealth was based on one simple concept. If one could become rich by working all the time, then everyone would be rich. He advocated a radically different approach to money. In his opinion, it is not discipline and hard work that bring money, but knowledge and skills. Hard work only results in dependence on active profit, which can turn into a disaster at any time. His approach is lazy. Stanley built his fortune through passive income, investing the minimum effort. He wrote several books in which he shared his experience and understanding of finance. And you don't even have to read them. I've already done that for you. Let's find out how lazy people become millionaires. Thomas J. Stanley offers methods that will help you earn even while you sleep. In this video, we will cover only 4 ideas, which, unlike bank deposits and stock trading, are available to everyone and don't require tens of thousands of dollars in your account. So even if you're just starting your journey to wealth, this video will be a useful tool for you. After all, we all start earning from zero. He began with something he himself earned from during the last years of his life: digital products. We live in the internet age, and it's foolish not to use it to get rich. The World Wide Web is an infinitely large marketplace through which over 1 billion people pass every day, and each one of them is your potential customer. Stanley himself made a fortune selling his courses, books, and lectures online, and the earnings here are virtually unlimited. Yes, you'll have to spend time developing and promoting your product, but after that, it will bring you profit for the rest of your life. Digital products are a real find for those who want to make money online. Imagine a product you create once and sell an unlimited number of times. No warehouses, no delivery. Everything is in digital format. These can be ebooks, online courses, graphic templates, stock photos, music, even mobile apps or plugins. And most importantly, this is accessible to almost everyone. Well, unless you live in North Korea, of course. How does it all work? You need to choose a niche that interests you or that you know well. For example, if you're a designer, you can easily create templates for Canva or presentations. If you enjoy teaching, record courses and upload them to platforms like Udemy. If you're a programmer, you can create plugins or even simple mobile apps. The key is to find your own niche. Next, it's important to understand what's popular among people. You can look at platforms to see what's trending, what's selling well, and which products have the most reviews. This will help you figure out how to make your product competitive. Then it's simple. Create the product, upload it to your chosen platform, and start making money. But don't forget about marketing. Even the best product won't find its buyer without advertising. Use social media, blogs, even YouTube to show people what you're offering. Here, you need to show creativity and originality. Never create a boring product, and never forget about packaging. The product needs to be presented properly. This is what differentiates a good seller from a bad one. Interestingly, this is not 100% passive income as most people understand it. Stanley calls this type of income minimal ongoing involvement. This means it requires some work on your part, but once set up, it brings in profits regardless of your actions. He recommended this type of passive income to beginners, as it doesn't require serious initial capital, and all risks depend solely on you. Another promising investment direction is real estate. Don't rush to turn off this video. Yes, real estate requires huge sums of money and investment experience. So, if you're a regular student with empty pockets, the traditional real estate market is not for you. But you might be interested in REITs. REITs are real estate investment trusts that operate like stocks. You buy shares in them, and they manage properties and generate income, which they then distribute among investors. By investing in a REIT, you actually become a co-owner of large office buildings, shopping centers, residential buildings, or even warehouses. Yes, you can only own 1.5 square inches of a building, but who cares if it's a Hilton hotel building? And it's a hassle-free experience. REITs are required to pay out at least 90% of their income in the form of dividends. This means that you will receive money directly into your account on a regular basis. First, you need to choose a fund. It could be a fund specializing in residential real estate, commercial buildings, or even medical facilities. And this is the trickiest part. Just like with buying stocks, you need to take time to understand the system. You need to learn how to separate promising real estate from weak investments. This might seem simple. Obviously, you wouldn't want to buy property in war zones or areas prone to natural disasters, but it's a bit trickier than that. Recently, billions of dollars in investments flowed into Chinese real estate because China became the world's second-largest economy, and all the people who invested there lost everything. The Chinese government started spending investments on building ghost towns, which, absurdly enough, China didn't have enough people to populate. Moreover, Chinese law allows for unilateral closing of deals, which devastated investors. Therefore, you should think carefully about where you invest your money, even if it is only $10. Once you've chosen an asset, you simply buy shares in the fund through the stock exchange, just like regular company stocks. The best part is that getting into REITs doesn't require large investments. You can even start with a small amount. The main advantage of REITs is stability. Real estate has always been and will continue to be one of the most reliable assets. Even during tough economic times, the demand for housing, offices, or warehouses remains. Additionally, many funds offer diversification. This means that your money is invested not in a single property, but in various projects, which reduces risks. Another cool thing is liquidity. If you own an apartment and urgently need money, selling it quickly is not easy. But REIT stocks can be sold at any moment when the exchange is open. That's 16 hours a day, 5 days a week. This gives you flexibility and control over your finances. Overall, REITs are a good tool for making money if you lack resources to invest in stocks. But this also requires serious knowledge and market understanding. Stanley discovered REITs in his later years, but immediately fell in love with this exchange. He invested huge amounts of money in it and received dividends until the end of his life. Unlike the previous method, this is traditional passive income that requires 0 hours of your time per day to achieve results. But are there ways to earn with even less effort? Yes. It's called crowdfunding. Investing in crowdfunding is another modern way to earn passive income. If you want to support innovative projects or startups while also making a profit, crowdfunding could be an interesting option. Through crowdfunding platforms, you can invest money in various projects, from tech startups to environmental initiatives. And if those projects succeed, you'll receive your share of the income or profit from the sale of shares. Imagine becoming part of an innovative business by investing a small sum at the start. If the project succeeds, you could receive dividends, interest on your investment, or even a share of the company. This allows you to not only support interesting ideas but also profit from their development. One of the advantages of investing in crowdfunding is the ability to invest small amounts, starting from just a few hundred or thousand. This allows you to diversify your investments and support various projects, reducing risks. Additionally, many platforms offer easy access to the market and automated tools for monitoring projects, making it quite simple and convenient to invest. But crowdfunding also has its downsides. One of the main risks is the uncertainty of outcomes. Many projects fail, and in such cases, your investments could be lost. This can happen for various reasons, from insufficient demand for the product to poor management of the company. Also, such investments often lack liquidity, meaning you won't be able to quickly sell your share if you suddenly need money. Additionally, crowdfunding investments are often not insured, meaning that if a project fails, you won't get compensated for your losses. So, this strategy may be profitable for those who are willing to take risks and understand the potential consequences of failure. Very often, investing in crowdfunding is more about supporting an interesting, socially beneficial project with talented developers than trying to make money. This is how Thomas Stanley viewed this method. Other famous investors like Warren Buffett shared his point of view. But don't forget that many large, globally known projects started from small windows on crowdfunding platforms. And those who bought a few bitcoins in this way 10 years ago are now millionaires. Maybe you'll get lucky too. In any case, it's better to try. And finally, I saved the coolest for last. There is a method that will allow you to start building your fortune with just $10. And this is with a controlled level of risk. I used this method in the beginning, as did several dozen millionaires and founders around the world. It's called P2P lending, and it allows you to try your hand at being a bank. The essence of P2P investing is that you lend money to other people or businesses through special online platforms, receiving interest from each payment. In simple terms, your money works, financing, for example, a new business, a car purchase, or even a student's education. You're literally a bank, but without complicated processes and high barriers to entry. You can invest small amounts, choosing specific projects that interest you. All payments from debtors will go directly to your account, providing you with a stable passive income. Peer-to-peer platforms offer a wide range of options for investors. You can choose short-term loans that will be repaid in a few months, or long-term loans that will generate income for years. Additionally, some platforms allow you to automate the investment process. You simply set the criteria, such as the amount and the desired level of risk, and the system selects loans for you. However, there are also negative aspects that are important to know about. The main disadvantage of P2P lending is the risk of non-payment. If the borrower fails to fulfill their financial obligations and you don't know any debt collectors, you may lose some of your money. Some platforms offer reserve funds or insurance to cover such cases, but this does not always guarantee a 100% refund. It's also important to understand that profitability depends on the loans you choose. The higher the income, the greater the risk. Another point is the lack of instant liquidity. Unlike stocks or funds, it's not always possible to sell a loan if you need money urgently. Although some platforms offer secondary trading markets, it can take some time and also affect your income. Nevertheless, investing in P2P lending remains popular due to its low entry point, flexibility, and high returns. It's a great way to create an additional source of income, especially if you properly distribute your investments between different loans. You can start right now. Don't wait for the right date or a good mood. Your future is in your hands. We live in a wonderful time. We have so many ways to get rich effortlessly that our ancestors could only dream of. Thomas Stanley, on whose work this video is based, often lamented that he wasn't born in the 2000s. Now even a school student can save up $100 and start investing in their future, becoming wealthy by the age of 20. Who knows? Maybe that student is you. This is the Money Channel. You will get richer.